Welcome to the extra scenes section of this disc. The movie that we made came out massively longer than was intended. And so, whereas on some of my films there have been little sort of awkward bits of gristle which have posed as extra scenes, you know, strange bits of plot that didn't quite work. I think that the bits that we didn't actually stick in the movie contain some of my favourite scenes in the movie. What they tend to be, though, is sort of self-contained little funny sections which were removable. Because we had to try and keep the big old plot going, and so we removed from the film, even if they were the funnier bits, the bits which, as it were, had no real consequence. So I think that some of the scenes that I most enjoyed, that we most enjoyed editing, that we most enjoyed shooting, are in fact not in the film at all. And I'm so pleased that we live in a world where at least people who really like the movie get to see the extra bits of the movie, because actually they may be seeing the best bits of the movie. And there's another edit of this film where I could have taken out 45 minutes of what is in the film now, put in this 45 minutes, and for all we know, it might have been more successful. Alas. So I hope you enjoy them, and the actors in the film were genuinely extraordinary every day, and it breaks my heart that some of their best work didn't make it into the film, but it sews my heart back together again, the thought that you might be about to watch some of their finest work. So enjoy these bits and high-class bits and pieces. This next scene is called Eggs for reasons that will become extremely clear. It's actually based on an incident I once saw happen in a kitchen and always remembered and thought had been very funny. It was a tricky day for Tom Sturridge, I think. In fact, some members of the cast thought that he'd been abused to an almost criminal extent by the time we got to about the 15th take of the central scenario. But the thing I remember most clearly is that the next day his hair was in very good condition, sort of fluffy with an extra magical bounce. This is the scene which probably reveals the dark heart of Dave, played by Nick Frost.
Now, let me ask, are you in fact getting paid for being here?
I don't think so, but to be honest, I haven't actually asked.
Good. Good. In that case, you may be pleased to hear that I hold in my hands 6 eggs. Putting the two halves of our conversation together, I will give you £10 if you let me break 4 of these eggs on your head.
Ooh, 10 English pounds.
So £10, 4 eggs
Work it through.
on my head.
Sure. Do we have a deal?
Absolute deal.
Thank you, sir.
Can I take my jacket off?
Absolutely. Corduroy and eggs. Wow. Asseyez-vous.
Thank you. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this. Egg number 1. £10, huh? You get 7 albums with that.
Can we do this quickly, because it's not very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Egg number 2. Egg number 3. Oeuf-toi. You know what? I shan't cast egg 4.
What?
I think I'll leave it there.
So I get £7, 10 shillings.
No, the deal was £10 for 4 eggs. We didn't make any 3-egg deal.
Wait, you're joking?
You should have made a deal for 3 eggs.
Always make the 3-egg deal.
You're too greedy, mate.
That is so unfair.
Yes, it is unfair. And that was the important lesson I was trying to teach you, young man. Life is unfair.
That's it. So true. So true. You are a bastard. Huh?
I mean, it's been said before, but underneath, I think you'll find him a very, very nice person. Way underneath.
Like many of the scenes in the film, this is based on a real-life incident. I don't want to give away too much, but, you know, who cares? A friend of mine asked her daughter, who is 12, called Eve, whether or not she was starting to look old. And she said, when I do, will you tell me that I'm looking old, because then I might take drastic measures. And the daughter said, oh, you look young, Mum, and of course I'll tell you if ever I notice that happening. And about 40 seconds later, my friend was just slicing a loaf of bread, and she heard her daughter scream from the corner of the room, "Now!" She turned around and said, "What?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, no, I was just looking at you. You're looking old." So that's where this scene comes from.
There we are, Minister.
Excellent. Very exciting.
Now, you remember Mr. Fredericks. He's done a full study on what would happen if we simply integrate the pirate stations into the current broadcasting networks.
Very good. Well, far away.
Please tell us when you've had enough detail, and we'll just leave you with the file to peruse at a later date.
Very good, very good. I'll do that. Okay, press on.
Excellent. We began to look into the issue of...
No!
I beg your pardon?
You said I should interrupt when I'd had enough detail, and that would be now? Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'll look at it later. Goodbye. And Frederick's hair slightly worse, if anything. Twat, as I suspected, totally useless.
A lot of scenes in films come from places in your way distant past, and this little sequence of scenes was inspired by two stories. I remember both from my brother about his time at school, one of which is that they used to have a thing whereby when someone was reading the lesson in chapel, they were given a word that they had to try and sneak into the lesson. And he said it was always strangely easy. So, you know, as it were, they'd be given the word bastard, and they would say, you know, and then did Abraham, bastard son of Daniel, go up onto the mountain. And strangely, the Bible made it rather easy to introduce words that would otherwise be conversationally unacceptable in a British private school of the 1960s. And the other thing was another thing they used to do, which I thought was very funny, which was where they would, at the beginning of a lesson, set themselves a word, like let's say the word banana. And the idea was that the whole lesson was simply trying to manipulate the teacher into a position where he said the chosen word. So, you know, if they were in a science lesson and it was banana, they would try and get the conversation round to you know, alkaline and acid or whatever those things were, and then talk about which fruits had particular qualities, and finally he would eventually say, well, you know, acidic fruit is the lemon, and then let's say something like a banana would be, and then they would have won the game. I was very sympathetic for the teacher who thought he was doing one thing, whereas it was a completely different scenario. I think that's perhaps a metaphor for life. We think we're doing one thing, but in fact fate is on a completely different path, which is a bizarre introduction to just a pathetic series of knob gags. Here they are.
May not be up first thing in the morning, so I thought I'd give this now. All right. Something I've been thinking about.
Oh, come.
You can do it. You can do it. Right up the stairs. Do you mind if I call you guys by the same name?
Call us whatever you want.
Oh, Jesus. Fred.
What is it?
It'll make it easier.
What is it with the cat and bits of
It's
paper?
this old boat tradition. He gives us a word every day that we have to try and fit into our broadcast without anyone noticing. On Monday, it's really easy. It's like obscure animals, parts of the body, strange fruits, you know, whatever. But by Saturday, it's pretty hard.
Show me, what is it?
Blowjob.
Wow.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I think I can trump that. The Count says he's going to give me fellatio.
What's that, Majan? What?
I mean, no. On in the note.
Oh. Right. So what are you going to do?
I was thinking about pretending he's the Prime Minister of Italy. No, Signor Fellatio. Like,
Inspired. It's good. Inspired.
Signor Fellatio.
Simple Simon!
Word coming in from the mainland is that the weather there is pretty atrocious, but out here on a little slice of heaven, Radio Rock, it's another beautiful, balmy morning.
Radio Rock!
Now here's a new record by Whistling Jack Smith. And if anyone out there can't whistle, let me tell you, it's easier than you think. All you gotta do is put your lips together and blow. Job done.
And it is a great night here for everyone on board Radio Rock, but especially for our competition winner. Harold, drumroll, please. Miss Phillidanis! Is that Phillidan or Philippa, Harold? Nothing. All right, look, let's not take any risks, shall we? The lucky winner who will be joining the other lucky 99 winners on board the Triumph trip to the boat next Saturday is Miss Penis! Radio Rock 203. Enjoy this tune. Penis, done and dusted. File it under penis. Why? Oh, well, it's penis, isn't it?
Anyone could just...
All right. So everyone's a
Penis.
critic.
The Italian liner Michelangelo was today launched. The Prime Minister, Signor Fellatio, was in attendance.
Now one of my favorite tracks, recorded on November the 8th, 1956, from the famous Cocksucker Sessions. What a gathering of talent that must have been.
Tender words of love. And fighting has intensified in North Vietnam, particularly in and around the region of Phuoc Toi. Full news and weather again in 1 hour with me, John Mayford. Till then, this man. Oh. I mean, it's just so much more difficult than everybody else's words. I mean, it's all right for you to you know, but the new it's supposed to be serious, and if you're a DJ or whatever, you could say this sort of thing. But I mean, there are standards. Fuck, for goodness sake, can't I have cocksucker or whatever? I just think at least you can be creative with that sort of thing. But just fuck. No, I'm cross actually.
This next scene, very short, contains probably my favouritely framed shot of the movie and my favourite name in the movie. So I hope that it brings you some pleasure on 2 levels.
I like you, Twat.
I'm also keen that we should monitor the output of Radio Rock, sir, to build up a body of evidence against them in terms of obscenity and illegality.
Very good idea. You know Miss Clit?
Well, no, actually, we've not been introduced. Is that Clit with 1 or 2 T's?
2. Clit.
Excellent. I'm Dominic Twat.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
She and the girls will monitor everything and compile a file that will torpedo the ship of shame. Nice tie, by the way. Have you absolutely nothing to do, ladies? Excuse me.
One of the most mysterious things about film is how sometimes one shot says what you thought, 2 whole scenes were going to be needed for. I mean, actually, not on film, but I remember when I was young, we did in the series Blackadder, there was a big, long scene in which it was going to be revealed that Rowan Atkinson's butler had stolen all of the Prince Regent's clothes or socks. I can't remember which it was. And the first line was Hugh Laurie saying, "I don't seem to have any more socks. They keep disappearing." And Rowan's line was, "Really?" And it was so clear by the way he said the word "really" and by his face that the audience absolutely knew from that moment that Blackadder had stolen all the Prince Regent's clothes. And the rest of the scene, the whole 4 minutes, was a complete waste of time, and we just cut out after "really." And this next scene seemed to me to be the heart of the movie and everything that was necessary to explain everything about Rhys Ifans' character. A tremendously important bit of the film. And the problem was that when we shot the one shot of Rhys Ifans in his purple velvet suit stepping onto the boat in slow motion, that pretty well said everything that this very expensive 4 minutes was meant to say. So it's with enormous sorrow and grief that I introduce this section, because it is just, you know, it was the most fun to shoot. There are two extraordinarily beautiful Tal and the wonderfully elegant Earth are in it. Rhys worked like crazy to make this work, and it seems to me to be, we might have made more money if we just released this scene and not bothered with the whole movie, frankly. So here we go. I hope that you enjoy the scene that's set in a cantina.
Where did you go? Why did you come back?
That young pup is a secret.
Yeah, but what's the point in the secret if you can't tell someone?
Good point. Well, I went away to discover the meaning of life. I went to Africa. I traversed India, popped in on South America. I took drugs you couldn't dream of, made from the kidneys of animals you've never even heard of. But I still hadn't found it. Then one day I was in this little bar in Guatemala with this chick who was so beautiful. I mean, it was impossible to talk to her. You just wanted to have sex with her the whole time. Anyway, she went for a swim, and I just sat there. And I thought, odd. I've got money, chicks, drugs, time on my hands, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And then I noticed this old Guatemalan guy, face like an old shoe. And he walked across the room. And there in the corner, I hadn't seen it before, was this jukebox. And he put in a coin. And he pressed 3 buttons. And then...
got a ticket home the next day. You see, the thing that makes sense of this crazy world is rock and roll. And I was crazy to think I could ever leave it all behind.
This is a great big chunk of film. I mean, one of the things that I have to own up to at this point is that the film was hugely over length when it was finished, partly because it was a bit over length when we started, but also because the actors improvised a lot more and we were having such fun on the boat that lots of things kept happening that we wanted to film that hadn't originally been part of the imagined script. But this is a huge series of scenes, and the reason it came out is just because it could come out. In the end, when you're cutting a film tight, what you've got to cut out is things which don't have any final effect on the plot. So, you know, if somebody's going to get married, you can't cut that bit because the rest of the film they'll be married. But the Radio Sunshine incident you're about to see was unfortunately able to be just lifted out and put here into the DVD extras. It contains a really splendid cameo appearance by the DJs of Radio Sunshine, which I hope that you will enjoy, and I think a first-class fight. So here we go, the epic, almost sitcom episode-length incident that is the Radio Sunshine debacle.
I have some rather strange news. Our listening figures
This is it.
have gone down.
What? Not mine.
Everyone's, except, of course, Gavin's. And Simon's Sunday Super Smash Show. But that's just because Radio Sunshine doesn't have a chart show.
Radio what the fuck?
Don't you get depressed when the F word has to be in every single sentence?
Right here.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
10 days ago, a new station opened up in the North Sea. It is called Radio Sunshine.
Ugh.
And it broadcasts for 18 hours a day. Oh, by the way, Radio Sunshine's motto is "Who needs the Beatles when you've got Herman's Hermits?"
No! We used to have a motto in my college frat house. Don't get mad, get even.
Yeah, our motto was Semper Fidelis in Nostra Contilio.
And what did that mean?
Don't know. I wish I did.
Right, our motto was never wear purple with beige. So, yeah, different.
Oh, moving on. Now, I believe in that old motto. And I believe most of us have gone and forgotten exactly who we are. And what are we?
We're pirates.
Exactly,
Yeah.
we're pirates. And what do pirates do?
Play records.
Yeah.
No, actual pirates.
Play actual records.
No, fuck me.
Sorry, I got it.
I think real pirates roam the high seas in search of loot and treasure.
Yeah!
Yeah?
And to put it another way, they kick the fucking shit out of everyone on the fucking ocean who gets in their fucking way. Yeah! And what's Radio Sunshine doing?
Playing records.
Fuck!
No, it's getting in our flippin' way.
And what are we gonna do?
We are going to kick the flip out of it.
Let's go!
Okay.
We should probably eat something first, though, innit?
I'm good. I had a carrot.
She's made spam fritters. It seems a shame to waste them. I'm not saying that because I'm fat, but even fat people need to eat.
Are you sure this pen comes off?
Definitely.
Do we have our weapons? No? No. Excellent. Let's rock.
sorry, Felicity.
No, I enjoyed the company.
Oh my God, there she is.
This is going to be so much fun. Stand clear!
Good, man.
Let the evilness begin.
Everyone here. We're missing Mark. Jesus. Dawn's coming. We gotta get back. Here he is. Where'd all you been? Where'd they go? This way.
Morning, boys. Oh. You should have a listen to Radio Sunshine. They seem to have gone rather, how can one put it, off the boil.
Turn it on.
All right. Sorry about this, folks. We're having a few technical tantrums this merry morrow. But let's move on. Let's groove on. Here's the new sensational sound from The Move. This is Night of Fear.
No, it's not!
I think it's Brenda Lee. This is some kind of fucking joke. I want you to find that fuck man, or I will sit down and
Okay, all right, everybody. Everything is copacetic because Big Dave is here to the rock and roll rescue. And let's listen to the palatable platter known as Gary Puckett while Bernard tries to figure out where he left his brain this morning. And Naughty Gary is quite interested in a very young girl. Gary seems to be stuck in that relationship. But you know who's not stuck in anything because they have got the best product in the entire world.
Tense? Need to relax? No better way to do it than night cigarettes. They'll give you cancer, and then you can relax for the rest of your life. Because you'll be dead. Okie dokie! I think it's time we went to the weather and things are in store for us today. Katie!
Oh, the weather is just, well, you know. Great. And last night was heaven.
So, Radio Rock rules the waves once more, and life will be ecstasy. You and me, endlessly, grooving.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
You pissed in here, didn't you? What?
You've done it before. Admit it. You've done it before.
That was a joke. It was an April Fool joke. You know
I'm
what?
gonna attack
you know
you.
what? It's a joke.
I'm going
Fine.
to
Attack
attack
me.
your
You know
neck.
why? I quit. I quit.
Yeah?
I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
fine.
I'm done.
Get your stuff out of your locker.
I'm done. You
Go
know what?
right now.
You know what?
You know
I'm
what?
going now.
You're
Yeah.
not before I do this. You've been fucking. You've been fucking my wife.
I will overpower you. You don't have the strength.
You've been fucking my wife.
I haven't found just once. Just once. It was an April Fool. April Fool joke.
I hate you.
It was an April
I'm
Fool
alone
joke.
because
It was
of
an
you.
April Fool joke. I'm off. Okay. I will overpower you.
Somebody save me.
It breaks my heart that this scene is in the DVD extras because we intended to do this scene either like on 17 consecutive days. The original idea was that it was meant to be set on the boat deck, so we were waiting for a gorgeous sunny day, but every time we got to a sunny day we had to do a slightly more important scene. So finally we shot this scene, press-ups, which had been on the schedule, I think, as I say, really from the beginning of the shoot right through to the end. This was the final scene we shot on the day that Phil Seymour Hoffman left, and he bet me it would not make it into the film, and it was in the film until almost the last cut, but then we just took it out at the last moment. It's one of my favourite scenes, and it's the scene which has most of the atmosphere that I so wanted the film to have, a bit of the atmosphere of Robert Altman's MASH, just sloppy guys hanging around. And I think originally we put music from The Great Escape behind it, so because there's a picture of Steve McQueen in it. So here it is. My favourite scene of everything to do with The Boat That Rocked, push-ups, or is it press-ups? I can't quite remember.
Okay, guys. Today, we begin our new exercise regime. All right, we've let ourselves go, especially me. But do this stuff every day, and in a month, we'll all look like, oh, fuck, Steve McQueen. Oh, yeah. Come on! How fucking sexy is that?
So sexy.
Right. Oh, God. Press-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, press-ups. Oh, God. Ooh, shit. When I say go, we'll start. Go. 1. Ready? 2. That's perfect. That's it for today, guys. Well done, guys. Same time tomorrow. I know this is going to be tough, but it's going to be worth it. See some improvement already, Dave.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. You're a little tired, aren't you? You're on the buck. All right. Yeah. You feel the burn? I feel the burn. All right.
When we had some early screenings of the movie, and some friends of mine, I kept getting a lot of texts saying, look, you know, the cast on the whole are fine, but the real star turn, the best person in it, is the woman who plays Ken Branagh's wife, Francesca. So it's a great delight to be able to represent to you her main scene. In fact, the Christmas scene, which is in the movie, was just a supplementary thing that we did on the very first day of filming. But this was the sort of meat of her part. It is a fantastic performance she gives of a woman who has to live with this monster and a slightly sort of posh fear. And I hope that you enjoy a scene in which the word twat really occurs more times, I hope, than it's ever occurred in a non-pornographic context before.
Good evening, sir.
Ah, twat. Welcome to our world. Please do take off your horrible coat and let me whiz you around the house. Ah, darling. This is Dominic.
Hello, Dominic. And your surname is?
Twat.
Really? Well, I knew some twats in Essex.
Well, thousands of them in Essex. Hard to find anyone who isn't a twat there.
Oh, no. I mean, people called.
Well, they're probably part of the family. It's quite an unusual name.
So, if you meet a twat, probably related to you.
Yes, all my relatives are twats.
Oh. Good for you. Ah, here's our Jemima. Jemima, this is Mr. Dominic. Hello, Mr. Dominic.
Actually, the name is Twat, Dominic Twat.
We know some twats in Essex. Yes, I mentioned it already to Dominic.
Well, good luck with your adventure tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Pretty girl, my daughter, don't you think?
Very pretty, sir.
Don't ring her.
Really, sir?
Yes, really. I don't want my grandchildren to be twats, do I? Good night.
Good night, sir.
This next scene, again, a real favourite of mine. I had this, it's funny how things come about and sort of reappear later on in your life. I always wanted to do a joke. I may even have done it as a sound joke in a review of a band being introduced, you know, of someone saying, and on lead guitar, it's Ray, ding-a-ding, and he plays the guitar, and all the audience scream, and then they all scream, and then they introduce one member of the band, you know, and on drums, it's, you know, Big Dave Marston. Total silence. And I think it's partly based on a group I once saw called The Victims during the punk era. And what happened is while the Victims were playing, the audience just screamed full pelt, so you couldn't hear anything they were playing. And then the moment they stopped playing, the audience just went completely silent. So they had this agonizing, embarrassing 30 seconds when they mumbled, "Thank you very much," and then introduced their next song. So this little scene where I think everyone sort of brilliantly encapsulates the part that they play throughout the whole movie in about 12 seconds has the old drummer joke at the end.
It's magnificent Monday, and 200 gorgeous competition winners are heading straight for Radio Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Boat of Bliss. And here are your guides for the day. The Count himself, the godlike Gavin Kavanagh, the legendary Simple Simon Swafford, the magnificent Dr. Dave, Mr. Bob Silver, the Dawn Treader,
beautiful people,
and Motormouth Midnight Mark, and our man with the news, Mr. Subtle Sexiness himself, John Mayford. And last but not least, Angus Nutty Knutsford! Woo!
It's me, the Nut!
Woo! Fuck it. Thank you, enjoy the day, and welcome to our world.
The thing about looking at all these extra scenes is you are, in fact, looking at the remains of my broken heart, because this other chunk that you're about to see contains some of the things in the movie that I most cared about. It's got one of the actors who was, I thought, brilliant every time he appeared. This was his main bit, and I think he did it beautifully, and I hope that you enjoy it. And it also contains a big scene about the Beatles, who were have always been, in a way, the sort of major influence on my life. If I can just, if we've got a minute to spare, take you through a few Beatles things. When I was 7, I was living in Sweden, and I remember standing outside a hotel called the Foresta Hotel for 3 hours in the snow, waiting for the Beatles to come out on the balcony so I could just see them in real life for 4 seconds. They didn't come out onto the balcony, but I still remember it as one of the best nights of my life, in expectation. And I remember when I was about 11, they released the White Album, and I was in boarding school, and I heard that they were going to be playing it, I think on Radio 1, in its entirety at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So what I did is I got up at 6 and stood next to a radiator. So by the time we got woken up in the morning at 8, I had a temperature of about 112. and was taken by the matron with deep fear to go to the sanatorium, expecting me to die. And I just remember being in a sanatorium and listening to Helter Skelter and Happiness is a Warm Gun, that extraordinary, weird, magnificent mélange of an album. And almost dying of joy, even though actually my real health was recovering very fast. And so much of the sort of fantasy of my youth was entirely connected to the Beatles. Every single night when I wanted to go to sleep, you know, later on in one's life, you imagine scenarios where you're sleeping with attractive girls, but in order to put myself to sleep when I was younger, I used to always think it was my sister's birthday. And she would say, "Oh, what have you got me?" And I would say, "Oh, no, I forgot to buy you a present." And they'd say, "Oh, but wait 1 second." And then I would go in my dream and open the door of a cupboard, and inside the cupboard would be all 4 Beatles, rather weirdly, with all their instruments. And that was just the happiest thought I could have. So here we have a chunk of the movie that tried to say some of that in the mouth of you know, one of the world's greatest actors.
Stag!
Yes!
Fantastic!
What's a stag? I thought you were having a seizure. He's okay. He's fine.
Okay, Harold, everything sorted?
Yeah, I have the tapes, and I'll play them in for each of your shows.
And we will return at the crackling crack of dawn, when the real Simon will slip in seamlessly at precisely 5:59 a.m.
That's just groovy.
You don't know how groovy! All right, the ultimate stag party, and Quentin will never know.
Where are we going, Kyle? We are going exactly where we should be going.
Oh, sorry, kid.
Thank you, driver.
If this is a brothel, you are officially my favourite person on earth, because I've got something in my trousers the size of St. Paul's Cathedral. No, it's not, is it?
Don't worry,
It's not.
Simon.
Where the hell are we?
Stand here. Come on. All of you.
What is going on?
Come on, big guy, out with it.
The hell is going on?
Obviously, it is a brothel. I'm a bit of an expert on these things.
No, this, my friends, is Abbey Road. Somewhere in there, John, Paul, George, and Ringo are making music. And you know, I love American rock and roll, but I have enough brains in my head to know that we're standing within 50 yards of 4 of the greatest geniuses of our time. And no matter how famous we get on rock radio, what we really are is fans. You know, fans with attitude, fans with large, attractive cocks, but, you know, fans nonetheless. And gentlemen, I consider it an honor if you join me on this historic night in a salute to the fabulous 4. The glories of our age, the bringers of joy to our and future generations. Because there will always be poverty and pain and war and injustice in this world, but there will, thank the Lord, also always be the Beatles. Oh my God, someone's coming. Okay, we have precisely 5 hours and 30 minutes to get Horton hammered. What time is it? No.
It's 5:58 precisely.
No, no! We're so screwed! Turn on the radio!
Listening to the Dawn
shredder with me, Bob Silver, on 2 or 3 meters. Time to hand over the reins to Simple Simon once again.
Oh, fuck!
He's not
Oh, you're not there.
Hello.
That's not me.
I'm afraid to tell you that my man Simon is not quite feeling up to his game. So I hope you're game for a roller coaster ride that is Spike Seattle.
Who the fuck is Spike Seattle?
And now, to kick us into a groove out of which we will never slide, is the magnificent Marv. He says it takes two. That's just me. And you. Have a sweet, sweet day, and never forget, we live in a world where dreams can and usually do come true.
Morning, Harold.
Morning, lads. Just keeping the seat warm, man. Hope I haven't let you down.
You have not. In fact, you've made us proud.
It's yours. I am the king. King Harold.
If you need me, I'll be right next door. Okay?
Having sex.
Hopefully. Yes. You might hear us.
That would be nice.
Official sources were today sad to announce the separation of Simon Swafford and his wife, Eleanor, after 17 hours of marriage. It is understood the split is due to musical differences.
Where did you go when things went wrong, baby? Who did you run to and find a shoulder to lay your head upon, baby? Wasn't I there? Didn't I take good care of you? No, no, I can't believe you're leaving me. Stay with me, baby. Stay with me, baby. Oh, stay with me, baby. Remember, you said you'd always gonna need me. Remember, you said you'd never ever leave me. Remember, remember, I'm asking you, begging you. Oh, oh, stay with me, baby. Please stay with me, baby. Stay with me, baby. I can't go
Here's the guy who plays all the hits. It's Simple Simon Swafford.
And the time is now 7:09 in the AM, and you're listening to Simple Simon Swafford Show on Radio Rock, 203 meters on the medium wave band. And remember, folks, it ain't simple being cool, but it's cool being simple.